Our guest in the chair today is Helen Baxter. Helen is the Deputy Director here at the EPC, and she's authoring a paper on, well, it's entitled, When Angels Fall from the Sky. Helen, what's this paper about?
The paper is predominantly about how we support children and young people following disaster. In times gone by, we've tended to focus on the vast majority of people who are adults, and I'd like to focus a little bit more on the needs and the vulnerabilities of children and young people.
What are the particular vulnerabilities of young people?
There are a number of vulnerabilities that make children and young people unique with their requirements following a disaster, not least the fact that physiologically they're different. They breathe in more air, for example, per kilo of body weight. They have thinner skin. And they also suffer the effects of heat in a different manner to adults. So it makes them more susceptible to the changes that can be affected by a disaster, and thus the method by which they're able to recover some sense of normality following an incident.
And on the psychological side, what do we know about the way children respond to emergencies in that situation?
Well, children respond in a whole host of different ways, basically because they're of a different age, so they comprehend disaster in a different manner depending on their ability to understand what's actually gone on. So young children, for example, might struggle with understanding why the changes have taken place, whereas older children, teenagers, may well take cues from adults but have a better understanding but not necessarily the ability to articulate the problems that they're trying to resolve within themselves.
The fact that you thought this paper was necessary presumably means there's been, or that we've fallen short in some way in the way that we've looked after children involved in emergencies in the past. Is that right?
I think that we have a tendency to consider children just like small adults, and that certainly isn't the case. They have unique needs, and that's the reason behind the paper. It's actually to try and address some of those needs rather than considering recovery of people as one group, if you like, to be worked with.
And the audience for this paper?
I'd like to think the audience were practitioners, so emergency planners, or anybody else who is involved in dealing with major incidents and supporting children and young people with the recovery processes.
But from what you say, it seems to me that the wider care community would benefit from reading the paper too.
Absolutely. You know, today we see more and more major incidents, and recognition that recovery is actually one of the longest processes in an incident, and needs to be addressed a little bit more than perhaps has been in the past.
And given your concern for children, can you see us having to adapt our courses here at the college in order to make sure that the work that you've done is now reflected in these courses as we go ahead?
We need to be more inclusive with children. We need to consult with them and young people, and we tend not to do that at the moment. We tend to find solutions based on what we think is right for them. And so, in answer to your question, yes, I think we need to involve the viewpoints of children and young people when we start to develop some of those interventions to help them recover. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Helen.